Carolina seek recognition.
I move to suspend the rules and pass S.91, the Forgotten Heroes of the Holocaust Congressional Medal Act.
The clerk will report the title of the bill.
Senate 91, an act to award a Congressional Gold Medal collectively to 60 diplomats in recognition of their bravery and heroism during the Holocaust.
Pursuant to the rule, the gentleman from North Carolina, Mr. McHenry, and the gentlewoman from California, Ms. Waters, each will control 20 minutes. The chair recognizes the gentleman from North Carolina.
Mr. Speaker, I ask unanimous consent that all members may have 5 legislative days in which to revise and extend their remarks and exclude extraneous materials on this bill.
Without objection.
I rise in support of Senate Bill 91, a bill that would posthumously award the Congressional Gold Medal to the Forgotten Heroes of the Holocaust, and that passed the House in June of this year. This bill will honor fearless heroes that rescued Jewish citizens who were being hunted by Adolf Hitler and the Nazi regime. These diplomats from around the world took quick and heroic action to save Jews attempting to flee Europe. They resisted the anti-Semitic Nazi agenda, risking their lives, safety, and successful careers, and their own lives to help innocent Jewish people flee persecution. Despite some receiving direct orders not to help the Jewish population, these diplomats issued passports and travel visas, set up safe houses and getaways to hide adults and children, and communicated with local communities to help fleeing Jews escape by traveling underground to safety. Because of these actions of these diplomats, hundreds of thousands of Jewish families in Europe escaped death at the hands of Hitler's Nazi regime. Today, we celebrate these diplomats and honor their lives and actions with the Congressional Gold Medal. Sadly, anti-Semitism is endemic and an unrelenting scourge on history and our society, rearing its ugly head even today, just as it did 80 years ago. S.91 honors these diplomats who valiantly defied this systemic hatred by bravely doing what was right to stand up for not only the Jewish community, but all of mankind. It's my hope that their courage will continue to inspire Americans today. I'd like to thank Congresswoman Salazar for introducing the House version, as well as Senator Haggerty for making important technical changes and sending this bill back to the House to ensure the final text of the bill is completely accurate. And with that, Mr. Speaker, I support this bill. I urge my colleagues to support as well, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentleman reserves. The gentlelady from California is recognized.
I yield myself such time as I may consume. I rise in support of S.91, the Forgotten Heroes of the Holocaust Congressional Gold Medal Act, sponsored by Senator Haggerty. With this bill, we are honoring 60 diplomats from around the world in recognition of their brave and vital service of saving Jewish people during World War II. When Adolf Hitler and his Nazi regime were implementing a horrific mass murder of the Jewish population in Germany, a handful of diplomats from around the world stepped forward to assist the Jewish community, risking expulsion if discovered. Many of these diplomats also had strict orders from their home countries to not aid the Jewish population. Despite threats to their careers and livelihoods, these diplomats used the means at their disposal to help the Jewish community. They issued passports and travel visas, contrary to the instruction of their home countries, saving hundreds of thousands of Jewish families in Europe. The diplomats also connected with local populations to set up safe houses and getaways to hide people, specifically Jewish children, from Nazi authorities. Every diplomat was aware of the dangers, yet continued with their efforts to save the Jewish population. Several diplomats confronted the Nazis directly on behalf of the Jews, personally putting themselves in immediate danger. The diplomats displayed bravery, and heroism throughout the Holocaust and risked their careers and livelihoods to carry out this humanitarian mission. Today, we will vote to present them with our highest honor, the Congressional Gold Medal. I want to thank the sponsors of this bill, and I urge my colleagues to support this bill. And I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlelady reserves. The gentleman from North Carolina is recognized.
I'm prepared to close if I have no further speakers.
Gentleman reserves. The gentlewoman from California is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I have no further speakers, and I'm prepared to close if the gentleman from North Carolina has no further speakers.
The gentleman is prepared. The gentlelady is recognized.
And I will yield myself the balance of the time. This important bill will award a congressional medal, a gold medal, to 60 diplomats posthumously in recognition of their brave and vital service of saving Jewish people during World War II. We should all be grateful for and inspired by their sacrifices. I want to thank the sponsors of this bill, and I again urge my colleagues to support this bill, and I yield back the balance of my time.
The gentlelady yields the balance of her time. The gentleman from North Carolina is recognized.
Mr. Speaker, I yield myself such time as I may consume.
The gentleman's recognized.
It's important that this Congress make a statement and remember those valiant citizens, the forgotten heroes, those valiant people around the globe, those forgotten heroes of the Holocaust, who did so much to save so many. And their story still has an impact on us today. And that is one of the running themes of our discussions here this evening, is the impact of others' lives and the examples of great men and women in our history that we should remember today. And so as a statement against anti-Semitism and for the valiant courage of those that were willing to risk their lives to save others, I think this is a very appropriate statement. And so with that, I yield back the balance of my time, urge my colleagues to support Senate Bill 91, and yield back the balance of my time.
Gentleman yields the balance of his time. The question is, will the House suspend the rules and pass Senate Bill 91? Those in favor say aye. Those opposed, no. In the opinion of the chair, 2/3 being in the affirmative, the rules are suspended, the bill is passed, and without objection, the motion to reconsider is laid on the table.